It has definitely been a minute since I've done a PVE tier list, and the reason for that has honestly been because making a PVE tier list is so much harder than making a PvP tier list, because the way PVE works is the content is just so varied. Like VE Tower, you need totally different characters from Climax Battle. Climax Battle, you need different characters from Club Festival. So in this tier list, I attempted to include all three forms of PvE content when making this, and I tried to give you guys like characters that you want to highly invest in, characters that are good to invest in, characters that are like a medium worth investment and stuff like that. So long story short, for this tier list, basically I would take anything from B tier or above and invest in those characters, because those characters have potential to be useful to you either in Club Festival or Climax Battle or VE Tower. Technically you could argue Case Files is another form of PvE content, but like honestly any character can be used in Case Files, so just keep that in mind. But today I have placed all of these characters into the tier list already with the help of a lot of the different people who play My Hero Ultra Impact, as well as a lot of, top scoring, I would say, like VE Tower, Club Festival people. So I feel like with their help, this is a pretty accurate tier list for where the characters belong in terms of investment for PvE specifically. Keep in mind, this does not include whatsoever Ultra Arena or PvP. I want to make that very clear. PvP is not taken into account. That is a totally different tier list, totally different system. So when you're investing in these characters, that means you are investing in them for them to be good in PvE content, and it won't necessarily help you in PvP. Okay, so all these characters are already placed, and then we have 4 characters to be determined, and I already know their placements, but I kind of wanted to place them with you guys and go over them since they are the newest characters in the game. So we're going to start with Fess Toto here, and Fess Toto has so many abilities. He does so many things in the game, and honestly for PvP he felt a little bit lackluster. Honestly, I don't think he's the greatest for PvP. Coming out upon release, he wasn't the greatest, but good news is if you summoned for the Celebration Todoroki and then you saw that he wasn't that great in PvP, well, he is actually really good in PvE. So even though he's kind of lacking in PvP, this is kind of your saving grace. So hopefully this will make you feel better. So what can he do? He can shorten cooldowns, he can increase plus ultra gauge raise for allies, he has technical hits, he has status ailments, he can cancel status ailments, he heals your team, and he gives defense to your team. All of those things are good. So giving defense and healing is obviously good for like Climax Battle. Having status ailments, having technicals, that is good for VE Tower. Being able to cancel status ailments is good for things like Club Festival, where you need to be able to cancel status ailments. Shortening cooldowns is also just going to be good for all 3 of those. It's going to be good for Climax Battle, it's going to be good for Club Festival, and it's going to be good for VE Tower. Whenever a character shortens cooldowns, I feel like it automatically makes them good, because like if you look up here, Compress shortens cooldowns, he's up here. Momo shortens cooldowns, she's up here. Monoma shortens cooldowns, he's up here, all in S tier, right? So with that said, Todoroki going into S tier as well. He is an S tier character when it comes to PvE content. So if you were feeling bad about pulling him, well, hopefully this makes you feel a little bit better. But I will say he is one of the characters upon release as a celebration character that felt a little bit lackluster compared to the other celebration characters like Momo, who just totally changed the game completely. So yeah, there you go. Toto in S tier. The next character going to be moving is going to be Mina. So Mina came out right before Faux 100% Deku, and I thought when I saw her kit in PvP, she was going to be decent. Turns out in PvE, I would say she's also decent there, because she has speed for your team, and that could be actually valuable in Club Festival. A lot of days in Club Festival, you need a team that's faster. Well, she gives speed to your team when she's above 50% health, so that's really valuable for Club Festival. She has buff block and she has crit rate, which are good for VE Tower. So she's good in VE Tower, and she's also good in Club Festival. So for that reason, I am going to put her into A tier here. You could argue she has some uses for like Climax Battle, but not really. She doesn't do the most damage. I mean, she could always be a decent support, but I would say just in general, because she lacks damage and because she's not really used in Climax Battle, I'm going to put her in A tier right there. And I feel like that's a pretty fair placement for her, and overall I still really like her kit. I feel like it's a fairly well balanced kit, and she has decent cooldowns as well on top of all that, and the ability to shorten cooldowns. I almost forgot about that too. So yeah, a lot of good things going on for Mina. Definitely an argument for her maybe even to be in S tier, but I feel like these characters in S tier just kind of stand a tier above her, so it's not fair to put her up there, especially if we're keeping like Fantasy Toto down here and Celebration Deku down here. Like, she's definitely not above them, right? So on par with them, but not above them. So she goes in A tier. And then we have the new Faux 100% Deku. So if you pulled on this guy and you've been using him in Ultra Arena, then you know that he is insanely good in Ultra Arena. He is one of the first non-AoE characters to actually be able to survive and thrive in Ultra Arena. I really like this character. I've run into some defense teams where it's like crazy to try and kill him, and it's honestly a lot of fun. I built myself a defense team literally for fun, made with like all defensive characters and this Faux 100% Deku to make it so they can't kill him until turn 5, and honestly it's just a ton of fun. So he's really good in PvP on attack, and actually surprisingly okay. I wouldn't say the best on defense, but okay on defense. But when it comes to PvE though, when it comes to Climax Battle, when it comes to VE Tower, when it comes to Club Festival, he's not the greatest, okay? So single target attacks in Club Festival kind of hurts him. You kind of need AoEs in Club Festival to get the most amount of damage. And so for a damaged character to not have AoEs, that's not going to be great for Club Festival. Additionally, he has Pierce, and Pierce makes it kind of rough to run this Deku in climax battles. Like the recent climax battle, I did a showcase and he had Pierce, and when you have that Pierce, it actually ended up healing the enemy for more damage than you did. And so because he has that Pierce, it makes him kind of useless in certain climax battles as well. So that really only leaves him one thing to be okay in, and he's not even that great, and that would be like VE Tower. So for that reason, I'm going to put this Deku. He could be good in some climax battles, he could be good in certain scenarios of VE Tower, but he's very niche. He's going to be used in certain circumstances, and he might be okay-ish, like maybe in Club Festival, but I really don't see you using him in Club Festival. So mainly climax battle, mainly going to be VE Tower. Those are the two uses for that Faux 100% Deku. So that is why we are going to be placing him into this tier right here, and I'm actually going to put him up here by his counterparts, try to keep all the Dekus together. I did try to keep like all the Dekus together in each tier, all the Bakugos together and stuff like that, just to make it a little bit easier for you guys to navigate this and find where characters are and stuff like that. So hopefully that helps you out. And then last but not least, we had the new Uraraka, who was just announced, and this is just based on seeing her kit. But honestly, if you watched my previous video where I talked about her coming out, I was like, I don't know, I'm not the biggest fan. This is probably a skip banner. So take that how you will. And with that said, in PvP, she's not going to be the greatest. And as it turns out, in PvE, she's also not the greatest. She's not terrible, okay? She's not trash. She's not useless, but she's just not the greatest, okay? So, what is going on for her? She's only really going to have great usability in particular stages where you are going against red enemies, because that's what her kit is built towards. She does give some like other buffs to your allies and stuff like that, but a lot of her kit revolves around having red enemies to make her really good and make full use of her kit, right? Otherwise you're not making full use of everything she can do. And so like in a climax battle like the one that's coming up with All For One, she will actually be pretty decent. The thing is, she's an optional unit. She's not going to be necessary to beat All For One. We have plenty of units in the game already that can easily clear the All For One climax battle, right? So this is definitely an optional unit for the red All For One climax battle. And then outside of the red All For One climax battle, she's not going to be great in the other climax battles, right? She's just going to be okay. And then as far as usability in VE Tower, she could be used on certain VE Tower stages, and more preferentially probably on red enemy VE Tower stages, right? So she could definitely be good there. She has decent cooldown. She has the stun ability that could be really useful on red VE Tower stages. But then when it comes to Club Festival, she has one attack action skill, and it's a single target attack. Same thing with her plus ultra. It's a single target attack, no AoEs. Like, it's not great. She can give extra damage to your team, so maybe in the right circumstances, maybe she could be used in Club Festival to boost like one character's skill impact and stuff like that. You know, who does have AoE in Club Festival, maybe we'll find some secret uses for her. But as of right now, I don't think she's going to be too cracked or too crazy, just based on paper. Once again, we don't have her in the game at the time of recording this video. She is going to be coming out here on the 16th. So for now, I'm going to place this Uraraka into B tier because I think she's just going to have like very specific uses where sometimes she's going to be used, other times she's not. So we'll put her right here with the other Urarakas. And yeah, she's definitely going to be niche. I don't think she's going to be super cracked. I don't think she's super bad. She's definitely not like yellow Tokuyami tier or green Deku tier. Like these characters down here, absolutely, I would not invest in them. They're actually really, none of these characters also, by the way, are not great for PvP. So like just in general, like PvE and PvP content for this particular tier right here, you just really don't need to touch them in general. Okay, but from B tier up, I would invest in these characters if you're looking to do well in PvE content, once again, whether that be VE Tower, Climax Battle, or Club Festival. Hopefully this helps you guys out, and if you guys did enjoy the video, please consider going down there, hitting that like button, hitting that subscribe button, and leave me some comments about what you guys think. Would you change anything? Did I miss any characters? Let me know. I know on the PvP tier list I missed one character, so yeah, definitely let me know if I missed anyone. I think I got everybody here, but yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Peace.